You know what it is. Let's go. Geeks chat. The boy is back. The legend himself. Mason, the Dragon Jones off a fresh W at Cage Warriors. How we doing, brother?
Looking pretty. Looking pretty. It's not bad for me. I always go black and blue. I got a nice little like hickey on my chin, a little bit of bruising here, which is nothing too bad from where I actually blocked the shot and it glanced. I was watching it in the slow-mo at the end of the round. And because we watched it back, and as I blocked this side, it just sort of glances me and fucking splits. And this one was a clash. We clashed heads the one. So I'm happy here. Like his eye was so bad. I genuinely thought it was going to get stopped. And then the end of it, when they finished the second round, they went back to the corner. I was waiting for him to say, "Oh, like he's not going to be able to continue." And I don't know what the cut men did. We come back up and they managed to seal it that beer. But then again, like a couple of jabs in, it was just fucking open back down. It was just bleeding everywhere into his eye, and he was tough, very, very, very tough.
Yeah, no, that kid's legit. But just to kind of fill in everyone that's watching, Mason, he improves to 15-2 now. All right. So he just beat a 7-0, a huge prospect. I mean, that kid was freaking good. 25 years old, 7-0, repping his country, Italy. I mean,
He did an interview before it though, and I kept saying this to him in the fight. And I said it in the after I split him, he landed on me in the corner, and I said to him, "I said you're bleeding now." I said it's real now. I said you ready now? I don't even think he understood what I said. And then I went back to helping him and stuff. And then at the end of the fight, I said to him, I said, "I thought you said you weren't going to wrestle," because he did an interview in Italian before, and he said you'll never shoot to try and take anyone down in a fight. He's going to come out there and he's going to make it a striking masterclass. You'll never see him wrestle. And I was like, he's definitely going to fucking wrestle.
that's funny. That because honestly, in my head, I thought that you were gonna implement more of a wrestling game plan just because you have those backgrounds, and I've seen you
Nah,
do it. We've seen you do it in the UFC. I mean, we've seen you take down Onama and stuff. So I'm in the back
yeah.
of my head, I was like, I
But
mean, you could
I,
definitely strike with him clearly, but like I
I
just
did
thought
take
the
him down
easiest
once.
route.
I took him down once, and I think it was a third just to prove I could, and just to prove I could have taken him down. And mainly just make sure that like the takedowns were there on scorecards, just to make sure in case they were close.
Right.
To get put just get the takedown in, worked a little bit, and as he worked the cage, I could have taken his back and got and sort of worked off that. But I was like, I'm happy just to go back to striking and just went back to it. So it was twice I basically let him up. Like I think I would have been happy keeping him. Like second time I would have been happy keeping him down, but I wasn't willing to like go balls to the wall to try and keep him down. If you get what I mean? Like when he
Right.
started to work back up, he worked it well. I was like, yeah, slam him.
That's a lot of gas. But just to keep everybody back on track, that's your fourth fight since leaving the UFC. That's your third. Well, it wasn't a finish, but you have three finishes. And that was, I mean, just as good as a finish if you're asking me, because that was an absolute war. And like you're saying, you're letting up twice. Trust me, the fans appreciated that because, dude, that was quite the fight. Would you say that that's your toughest fight in Cage Warriors yet?
Toughest fighting cage warriors, and he's definitely got the best jab of anyone I fought.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking back at that fight, there was even a couple moments where like you would give him like you pointed at him when you cut him open and then like, maybe eat a shot and you were like, "Oh, nice shot right there." Like I
Mate,
want you
he
to talk
winded
about
me so bad at one point. He winded me so bad.
the body shot.
Yeah, mate. He back kicked me because I blocked a lot of his body shots to my elbow, but one of the like I come out elbows wide and he back kicked me, and I just remember thinking, "Fuck, that hurt." And I thought, "Fuck, I may have to wrestle you." And I thought, "Nah, I can't do it to myself. You can't stand it. So you're not gonna wrestle, then fucking take him down when it hurts." So I took a backward step. He went to step in, and then I teeped him after it through a teep out, just to sort of try and push him back at range. But he didn't want the smoke. He didn't want the smoke.
So, dude, talk to me about like the comfortability, right? Because you're what, 17 fights in, 17 pro fights. And like when we started talking, this was a couple years ago, you didn't have this many fights.
18. 18. Don't forget the
18.
Alan Patrick robbery.
Oh
Sure, it's
shit.
18.
How
It's
could I
15
forget?
2 and one no one Alan Patrick like.
We count that as a KO. But
You
okay, so
fucking basically raped me, God sorry.
you got all these fights, right? And it's like it seems like every time that we're seeing you in the octagon, it's just like you're so much more comfortable. Like that fight was, I mean, that one blew me away. I was like, man, look at this guy in the second round. I mean, a little bit of dings, but you're starting to really like mount up the damage. You're starting to point, you're having fun in there. Are you feeling that yourself with all these fights? Like with that last one, would you say that that's by far the most comfortable you've been in the octagon?
Actually, no, to be fair.
No.
No, no. I think like some of the fights like with Bryce, Yan, so the last few, I felt really comfortable. So Rome, I fought the Brazilian, and it was a little bit of tension because obviously that was my first fight since London. I had a lot of stuff happen to me after London, and I went through a lot. So to come back was like a big fight for me, and needed to get it done. Do you know what I mean? It's like you come from the UFC, and people are like, the question is, they were like, oh well, maybe he's not that good. So it's like you need to get in there, you need to get stand because you know what it's like. Like I chose not to go back to the UFC. Like we got into negotiations. Negotiations didn't work well, and it was a mutual decision between the two of us. Like obviously, yes, I would have preferred to stay with the UFC, but it was a mutual decision to split. Um, but people don't see it. Everyone just like, oh, he's got cut from the UFC, and then like he's on the decline. So I needed to get a fight. So then getting that fight, I was quite chilled in there. I was quite relaxed, but it was a bit of like not pressure to it, but it was like the whole thing of, well, we need to know, is he going to get, has he got better, or is he on the decline? And then I had the fight against Jan Liasse in Dublin. Went in there. It took me a little bit to settle in, hitting pads and all because his style was so weird. Like the oblique kick thing where I literally set everything up off the oblique. Like that I didn't train that. I did that in the change rooms. This is not something I didn't implement in training a lot. It was just the fact that I couldn't quite figure out his style when he was imitating his style in the change rooms. I couldn't quite get to click on the night. And then I was like, oh well, what if I just oblique kick him along like John Jones style and just keep pushing him away with it? And use it to stabilize his style and just break his rhythm in his legs. And then I built the entire game plan off there. So as soon as that started to work, I settled in. The Bryce Logan fight, I was just so on another plane. Like I went in there and I just knew that that was going to be my night. And I knew Bryce was a tricky guy, but it was like there was no danger of me in that fight. Like this fight, like I said, I had a couple of shots. I took some big shots now and again. The body shot was massive. He hit me one nice one to the face. Managed to it was a nice shot I blocked. Like that was a clash, but that was a nice shot. Like he was good. He hit me with a lot more jabs than I expected. Didn't expect him to have a jab. Like I extensively looked at his fights, looked at all of his stuff, and he doesn't really show his jab much at all. Like everything he normally does, he just throws his right hand all the time. Everything's off his right hand. So I went in this game plan of drawing out the cross, pulling on the cross, and then he just started hitting me with a stiff jab all the time, which I wasn't really ready. Wasn't yeah, I wasn't really planning for. I was ready for it, but I wasn't planning for. So I eased into it. I felt good, but it's not something that I would say it was my most comfortable. But I had fun, and it was just one of those ones where, like, at the end of the first round, I come back and I was like, I lost the round, and they were like, no, we don't think so. And I've had people message me saying, there's no way you lost that first round. I'm adamant I lost that first round. Like I count the SIGs in there. I think he did a little bit more work in the exit in the pocket. I was a little bit lazy coming out where I was like blocking the right shots. I wasn't in too many, but I wasn't really answering back. And then he was outworking me on the breaks a few times, and I had to clean the work. Like I kicked him in the face twice, flush. Which I think if I had done a little bit more mobility like I was meant to, and put the work in camp on my mobility more, rather than just worrying about my strength, my conditioning, because my strength conditioning was insane for this fight. Like I was big for this fight, but I was so fucking strong. Um, it was a big weight cut, but I felt great in there. I just needed to loosen up my hips a little bit more so my hip can snap through. And I think I would have knocked him out with those kicks because there was two I hit him with, two off the front snap, and they slapped. Like you can't really see it on the TV so much, but in real life, like they slapped him across the face.
Well, that's awesome. And that's a good mindset to have because whether you won the first round or not, like it was a barn
Oh, I
burner. Like,
lost.
yeah,
I,
I
I
mean,
definitely lost that first round.
I mean, you got a 30-26. One of these judges gave you a 30-26. So like, one of them scored all three for you. And like it was like a toss up. It could have went either way, who's judging it. So, but it's good to have the mindset of like, all right, I lost that because you don't want to be banking on that win and then hear the judges.
Well, it's annoying because there is a lot of people like I train with a lot of people who are the same. They'll have a close round and they'll be like, "Oh no, I won that fight," and then they'll get really pissed off because they'll be like, "I won that round. I won that round. Two judges didn't give me." Whereas like I spoke to one of my coaches not long ago, and he's like, "Oh no, I watched it back." He's like, "I think you won the first round." I said, "Yeah, but can you make a case that for why I would have lost the round as well? Like, can you make a case why he would have won the round?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "Well, then I lost the round." And he
Right.
was like, yeah, but I said, no, because you're biased. He said, I'm pissed. I said, but I kept the count. I thought you outstruck me in that first round. I thought, like, we come back, you in the corner. I said, did I lose that first round? And he was like, shut up. No, it's fine. He said, did I? He said, oh, well, just treat it like you lost it anyway. I was like, I'm going to do that anyway. But they're like, right, shut up and sit down now, mate. He's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Well, the fight lived up to the hype. I know they were putting a lot of steam behind it because it was, bro. Like you two are probably one of the best prospects at 55, in the country. So, I mean, it lived up to the hype. That kid's got a bright future. He's only 25. Like you were saying, he had his moments. So, he'll be back. You, on the other hand, that's 4 in a row. So, I mean, you can only imagine that there's going to be some big promotions out there that I've already been
Well,
fishing. That line should be getting tight at this point, huh?
fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But I spoke to Ian on Monday and I said to Ian, I said, Ian, why am I fighting an upcoming prospect? I said, what happened to the Brazilian? I said, dig me a nice Brazilian can up, and then he just put an hole in the Brazilian can. And he was like, mate, he's like, you gotta be having these fights. He said, you need to be competitive, you need to be fighting the best. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but for me, this fight, like I said before, I said there was no gain for me for this fight. Like this was a lose-lose because he's not coming prospect. He was looking to take my skull. Like for me, it was about slapping down a prospect, which is fine, but I've never been in that situation before where it's like these way to put it would be like a top 10 UFC guy or top 15 guy having to fight someone who's not in the top 15 yet or someone who's just coming through. And it's like they don't really have anything to gain. All you have is something to lose. So don't get me wrong. I don't mean that as like there's no offense here. I don't mean take anything away
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Pagnani. Like he was, like I said, the toughest fight I've had. But like looking at it from the statistics wise, it was just a lose lose. So for me to go in there, it was a weird mindset for me to get into because every single time someone messaged me and they say, "Oh, like you've got this fight, like you're a bigger talent, or like I think you'll walk it," like that, they annoy me because all it does is just leads to you getting lax. And yeah, you just got to be on it because when someone says to you, "Toughest fight of your career, you ready? You need to make sure you're pushing." Everyone's on it. Everyone's like, "You need to push. You need to make sure you're fit. You need to make sure you're fresh." Everyone's like you're like fuck yeah, I need to work. When everyone's saying to you, "Oh no, like you're way better than this guy, you'll be fine, you'll walk it." Nah, I think you'll stop him in two. It's like fuck, I need to work at twice as hard now.
Yeah.
I need to push myself now because it's not like they'll go easy on you, but they're like, "Oh no, yeah, you'll be fine." Only he
Right.
has anything you haven't seen before, and it's like, "Oh yeah," until you get hit with a fucking right hand and then you go to sleep.
Right. That's like, when you're a huge favorite in a fight and it's like shit, like minus 1200. These like these guys, Bo Nickel, Talbot, that are like breaking the records for like the biggest favorite. They're talking about it too. It's like if I don't knock this guy out in 10 seconds, I like didn't win the fight. It's like it's a bad position to be in. But
Mm.
I'll sit on the other side of the fence. I mean, that kid's tough as shit. And
Mate,
that the
tough, so
performance,
tough.
bro, those 3 rounds, like they speak for themselves. Like I know on paper it's like, oh yeah, you knocked the prospect, but anybody that's gonna look into you and actually watch the fight, they're gonna go, oh shit,
Mate,
that was legit.
and I do want to give I really want to give a shout out to him because at the end of the start of the third round when he answered that bell, like mate, he didn't want to be in there. Like
Right.
his face was hurting, his nose was hurting, he was touching his eye all the time, and he still answered that bell. Like if you look at him start of this third round, like he is in he's struggling, and that guy fucking. Well, what do they say? He carried the boats.
Yeah. He was fucking his back was full, man. That guy was carrying every boat they had. But so this was what? You said you telling me this is a home match now? You're training out of Manchester? What happened? You're switching it up?
No, no. That's just me with my bad English. I'm staying here for the UFC. They invite me to go watch the UFC. So no, I'm literally just sticking around in the hotel. I'm going to watch the UFC with my manager tomorrow because he rang me and was like they want you to come watch the UFC. They give you a ticket, so I'm gonna go watch. So stayed up here. Then I'll head back home. I got a few days off. I'm going away for one of my best friends is it's his stag weekend, but he's saying it's not a stag weekend because I think he's afraid we're going to dress him up in something stupid. So there's a few of us go run away. I don't drink, so we're going to Ibiza. So I'll just stay awake for 4 days in Ibiza on the coffee, and then come back, get back to work. I've been training in Renegade a little bit, get my wrestling in Renegade. Even though I didn't show it much in this fight, high level striking back home. I'm going to sort of add in a little bit more. We're going to do a lot more pro boxing sparring because I haven't been doing much pro boxing sparring. I've been doing more amateur boxing sparring. So just take it up another level again now. Start trying to get a roster of fighters like to spar with. And yeah, see what's next for me.
Let's go, dude. Hey, getting an invitation to go watch is definitely a step in the right direction. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
But you know what it's like
No,
until
yeah,
you're
yeah,
there.
dude. It's
Put the
the
names on the
road.
paper. It's
Yeah.
all for Ghazi.
No, yeah, dude. And speaking of that card tomorrow, you got your eyes on anybody in particular? I know that you said you're going with your manager. He's probably got a couple of big guys on the card, I imagine.
Paddy. He's managing Paddy, and he so Paddy, Holly, Christian Duncan. But like for me, let's go from top down. I hope Leon decapitates Bilal. Like that's gonna make my day.
You
Leon's
hope,
the
or is
jet.
that what's gonna happen? Let's get a prediction.
Mate, I think it's gonna be a decision.
I mean, yeah, that's like they both have what combined four finishes in the
Bilal,
last
yeah, but
8 years.
Bilal eats head kicks left, right, and center. Like, what I will say is he's got a fucking chin. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Leon is just gonna. I think same as what happened in the last fight. I think Leon's gonna fucking butcher him, and Bilal's just gonna stick deep and try and win. But I think and I hope Leon butchers Bilal. I hope he does. Like, I mean, I want nothing less than to see him knock Bilal out. But I think it's going to be a decision. So there's
Right.
that.
Okay.
Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades. I think it'll may even go to the second round. I think Tom gets it done. Some I think it might be a submission. I think it'll 100% be a TKO. I would put money on a TKO, but I've got a feeling he may actually submit Curtis Blades because Tom is a jiu-jitsu fighter. No one realizes his main aspect is his jiu-jitsu. So there's that. Paddy versus Green. I'm not even going to say who's going to win because I like Paddy a lot. Green is very high level and it's one of those fights where you don't know how it's going to go. Like looking at it from the statistics, Green should knock Paddy out, but Paddy's one of those man. Like you cannot shout him out, and I hope he does well. I really do. So yeah, let's say Paddy wins that. I hope I really do hope he does. You got Arnold Allen versus
Giga.
uh, mate Daisy. That is going to be a war. I've been training with Allen for this fight. He's very, very good. He's very talented.
I like
Like,
him in this one. I think he's
I
gonna
do
win.
too. I hope he does. And then Christian Duncan on the main card as well.
I want to say it's
Leroy.
a girl fight. Is the fifth one? Let me look at it real quick.
Can't
But
remember who else is on the main card. Is it? No, it's
it's
not Christian.
we're
Who else is
missing.
on
No,
there?
yeah, Duncan and Rodriguez. Yeah.
So that is that's his first tough test, Rodriguez, because I think Christian's had some easy, like not easy fights, but he hasn't had fights that are to his level in the UFC yet.
You think
That's
he's
going
gonna
to be
be able
his first
to?
step.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be. He needs to stuff takedowns.
yeah. I think he'll do well. He's been training in Renegade. He's been looking good. He's big, man. He's very big.
That's a good spot to be at for this fight for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got Molly too. But this is the one that I really
Molly, I seen
want your.
yesterday. She's looking tiny, man. She's on a big cut for this, but I think she walks that fight. I think that's a good fight for her, for Molly. I think they'd
You
give her a good opponent.
you definitely know a lot about these guys. Jake Hadley and Colin Loughnane.
Yeah. So Jake took that on short notice against Cowlin. I don't know. But Cowlin's good. Yeah, and come through the Cage Warriors, trains my boy Reese in Ireland. Like that is a killer team. They got Paul Hughes, Reese McGee. They've got that welterweight who's in the Ultimate Fighter. They got Cowlin. They got some other. Mate, it's one of the biggest. It's probably the best gym in the UK at the moment. That
Really?
gym in Ireland. Yeah, yeah. They've got some killers there. Like their gym in Ireland is insane talent coming through. I know Jack Shaw's runs his fight show, and they brought some Irish boys out against some of their prospects coming through. And apparently, those Irish boys, my coach was there coaching someone. He said those Irish boys they had on Annie's on the cards were levels above what they'd seen in the normal amateur career. Like that gym is doing levels for it. So
Damn.
Cowlin's good. Jake's tough. I think Cowlin wins that fight. I do. Jake's taking this on short notice. Cowlin's a beast. I think it'll be a tough fight. But to be fair, it's one of those fights I like both of them, and I don't really care who wins that. They're both Brits as well. So Jake's a boy. I really do like Jake, but I'm not sure I'm going to go with Cowlin on that one though.
On a full camp too, like Callan gonna have a little bit of that advantage. But what do you know about this guy Crosby? He's a national Irish kickboxing champion. Is this guy legit? Legit? Do you know anything about him? He's fighting Sam Patterson.
Uh, I don't really know much about him. Patterson's hit or miss. Some days he turns up, some days I think welterweight he looks good at welterweight. I think because Lightweight was stupid. I don't know why the fuck he was making lightweight. He was
Dude,
too big for size on
after
him.
that, he had that lightweight fight where he got, he got KO'd pretty bad by
Yeah,
Ashmoose, you know.
yeah, I
That
remember.
is
Fucking
that
slapped him.
when I saw that fight, I had him like circled on my little board as like fade, fade. Like we don't bet on this man. And then he came out and just like subbed a pretty dangerous dude at 70 his last time out. Like put him away
I think he
quick.
was good at 70. So I don't know. It's one of them things that you need to see which Sam turns up to fight because like he's one of those guys where 1 minute you're watching, you'll be like, how is this guy still in the UFC? There's no disrespect. And then the other time you'll see him, you'll be like, oh fuck, this is why he's in the UFC because he's a fucking beast. So I think it's one of those. So be interested to see which one turns up. But I'm like Sam for that fight. I think Sam wins that. I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, and then looking at
I
it,
wouldn't bet on it. Don't bet on it, basically.
no, no,
don't
no.
don't bet on that one.
No, no, I can't be doing any of the betting stuff, but it's fun to talk about for me. I love to like have my little piece of paper and my little circles on it.
Yeah, yeah,
It makes me
yeah.
feel
It's good,
smart, you
good
know?
practice. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you get it right.
Yeah. If it's wrong,
Who else is
you
there?
get rid of that shit real quick. No one sees that.
Open versus who's Open fighting?
He's got quite the chirper on him. That man talks quite the game.
I think Open wins that fight. I think it's a good. They've given him a good fight, but I don't know. I think he'll win a decision. I think
Yeah.
Open. Yeah.
Because dude, I mean, the way the guy interviews, I mean, he's always on Ariel Hawani and the guy talks like he's like the top prospect that anybody's ever seen, man. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can live up to it. But dude, I
Yeah,
think
he's Welsh, and I do wish him the best. So I do hope he does well. He's
oh,
not
he's
far.
Welsh?
Yeah, he lives near me. Yeah, Open.
Oh, okay.
He
What
trains at Jack's gym. He's out there with Jack, all the coaches from Jack's.
and you don't ever go in there?
I'll go down with Jack and all, but I don't train there. No.
Okay. That's what's up. And you're still at the homegrown with what's his name? Coach Bob, Coach John?
Lyndon.
Linden.
Lyndon, yeah. Lyndon, my boxing coach. Then I train with Greg, Craig, Giff, Carl. I got like a roster of coaches around me who just literally focus on me. So no excuse for that. And then I've been getting my wrestling sparring up in Renegade. I went up in London, did some sparring with shoot fighters and with Alfie Davis, the Axeman.
Oh,
Helped him with his
yeah.
last fight. Yeah, it's been good. Got some good
So
sparring.
is that where you're probably gonna bring those boxers in? You're gonna just bring them into the home gym, or are you gonna go travel to do all that kind of stuff?
I'll travel to be fair, like travel to them. So I'll probably go to St. Joe's see if there's anyone there. Because they're a little bit small for me a lot of the time. It's because boxing's weird. Like sometimes there'll be someone around, and then other times they're like not in camp and thing, and it's like hard finding guys your own weight. Like Jamie Cox was brilliant. Like I was bringing Jamie Cox down at the spar. Like he was 25-2, 25 wins, 2 losses. He lost to George Groves and then one other ones before he sort of went to retire. And that was brilliant sparring. But then Jamie ended up moving back up north, and yeah, he was sort of retiring. Then he was going to go into BKB, and which if they put him in BKB, oh my fucking god, he is like, where Chad Mendes hits people bare knuckle and they just go to sleep.
Oh, BKFC.
BKFC, yeah, he hits people like that. Yeah, not BKB, BKFC. Well, he was meant to be doing a bare knuckle fight, and then I don't know what happened, but they just kept his fights kept falling through, and then he just
Nobody
went
wants to
quiet
fight.
again. Mate, he's he's the hardest hitter I've ever sparred with in my entire career. Out of everyone I've ever sparred with, Josh Emmett, Chad, everyone, he's the hardest hitter I've ever sparred with.
Jesus. I mean
Mate, he's so
that might
fucking
be why he can't get a fight, bro. But you sign the line,
Well,
you're
he's
like, ah,
25 and
shit.
2 as a pro boxer, and he ended up losing to George Groves for a fucking world title. Do you know what I mean? Like the guy was a serious prospect, and then just literally just it's hard. There's just no money in boxing. Well, that's wrong. There is money in boxing, but it's a 10% of the 10%. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's,
No, no, and it's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, having a good fight. You got to have a good promoter. You got to be in good positions on a good
but
card. The card's got to be laid out.
and people will say like, "Well, what the fuck do you know about boxing?" It was like, "Well, I pro boxed. I had 3 wins. I had 7 cancelled bouts. Like one of the bouts I went to, I was on the bottom of the card. I sold 140 tickets at 50 quid each a ticket. So I much 1,000 worth of tickets, and they rang me a week before the fight and said, "Sorry, you're no longer on the card. We've just cut you off the card." It was like I was like, "Well, what do I do with all the tickets?" They said, "Oh, well, someone will be in touch in a few weeks to give you a refund." And I'm ringing people being like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not actually fighting anymore." And they're like, "Well, why?" was like, oh, they've cut me off the card. And they were like, oh, well, doesn't really smell. It's like, looks like I just bitched out. It was hard. It's hard. And like, I had 7 cancelled fights in 2 years. 7. It's
Have
like,
you
Jimmy, so hard.
have you been to a bare knuckle fight?
No, mate, I fucking bruised too easy to be bare knuckle. Like, I
No, no,
really
I'm saying have you just been to
I,
watch?
no, I'd love to go watch. But then Sean George, you know Sean George, the outlaw,
No, I don't know him.
mate. He's a bare knuckle boxer from my neck of the woods. He's good.
You said
He's good. He's
Sean
retired
George?
now. He had a Sean George, yeah, the outlaw. I'll send you his box right and see some of his fights. Mate,
Yeah.
he's a crazy motherfucker. Crazy. He's just
Damn.
retired now because he had a they found he had a detached retina and his eye was that bad. They said if he took any more shots, he'd go blind. But the guy still turns up training. He's not allowed to get hit in the face at all. Like hero. He turns up. He's like, "Come on, the spar." I'm like, "Mate, no." He's like, "Oh, come on, don't be a bitch." I'm like, "I'm not fucking hitting you." Like,
Yeah, bro.
no.
What the hell? Even
He's
just a
crazy,
headbutt is like
crazy.
that might be you might lose half your sight right here, buddy. I'm not doing
Mate,
that.
he is what a man. Sean is a legend as well. From like he trains in my gym, and the man is like he means business. And I'll send you his footage. I'll send you his name so you can take a look at his footage and all. But yeah,
Oh
Sean
yeah.
the Outlaw George, he's a bare like a boxer. He's a legend run by me.
Yeah, you gotta send me that because I mean, as gory as it is, bro, I love that shit. I love it, bro. I watch all those BKFC cards. They're really cool with us and the geeks, bro. The owner, they give us media
Yeah,
tickets. They put us right there next to the ring. We
cool.
get all great
Really
content.
cool.
They're the best, bro. And I mean, like they, I know people say damage, damage, damage. Dude, you get in and out. Like, yeah, you take damage, but it's not like in MMA where it's like, 3 rounds. Like,
Yeah.
like what you just went through is 15 minutes of boom, boom, boom. If you guys had no gloves on,
He hardly hit me. I don't know what you're on about.
oh, okay, you get what I'm saying? Oh, come on. But you get what I'm saying? If you got no gloves,
Yeah,
someone's
but
going down
I
quick.
get.
It's not, you
Yeah.
don't got to go through all that.
But you just
But
split. That's the thing is like people don't see it in BKB. Like if they hit you, you're just gonna split. You're either gonna get knocked out or your face is gonna split. That's why it looks worse.
yeah.
But for me, I'm the wrong skin type for that.
No, yeah, the commentary says it every time you fight too. They give you that shine though. That's a good thing. You want them to say that because they're like they give you that credit. They're like he looks beat up, but he just his skin, he gets. And I'm always like, yeah, that's right. He's not actually.
Yeah, that's why. Not some
Yeah,
fucking idiot when he goes forwards.
exactly. Yo, so the training in the States, is that gonna be like something that comes to an end?
No, I still want to go out. I'm still like I get if you look at my posts, I still get a lot of love off the Team Alpha Mill guys, and I've got so many friends out there. Like I got a lot of brothers out in those gyms, and I wish them nothing but the best. I'm hoping to go back out in October just for a week. Mate, it's just too expensive. Like the gym is legit. It's brilliant. Like Chris is still one of my number one training partners. Chris Gonzalez out of Team Alpha Male. He's like my brother, and he will be. But it's just so hard because like even he lets me stay for like fucking dirt cheap. I owe Uriah I owe Uriah like 8 grand in training fees because I've not paid him like 5K. And like I I love training out there. I love the atmosphere. I love the gym, but it's just fucking so expensive, mate. It's
No,
just
I
so
get it.
expensive.
I get it. And
Uh,
my question was more of like, once you get to that point, that's something you want to go back and do. I just wasn't sure if you were like, no, that just didn't work for me, but it's just a situational thing. Once you get in that spot, it sounds like
like
that's where you want
still
to be.
I still want to be able to do a mobile camp where I can take my camp anyway. That's always been the dream. And just take my coaches, be like, look, you need to come with me, and we need to go here, do this, and this. And it's still why I want to do like the way Conan did it. It was still like that's the best template for a champion. The way Leon has it, where the gym is around him,
Yeah.
helicopter around him. Like where if Leon needed to go somewhere like Brazil, he needed to do a few weeks out in Brazil. He can take his brother, he can take his training partners. They can train at their last few weeks, acclimatize, and then he can fight. Like that's the champ. That's how you become a champion.
Yeah.
Tom, no, Tom Aspel now trains out of his own gym with his dad. He literally had training partners bought him just to train with Tom. Like that is how you stay a world champion.
Where'd he start?
Tom,
Yeah.
Team Kapow or Kaboom, Team Kaboom.
Yeah. And
Train with
that's
Tom. Train with Tom. Yes, Tom. Train with
he
who's the
trained
Scouser?
he
Who's the
Mike
Scouser?
Harkin is I know that's one of
No,
the main
no,
guys.
no. He was a big British prospect. He should be in the first. The second.
Lockman?
Mike. No, what's his name? Oh
Shit.
my God. Who bothered with Chimaev? He's really good friends with Chimaev, and then they've had that falling out, didn't they?
Darren Till.
Darren Till. He trained with Darren Till. Really good. They were training out Team Kaboom up there. And then I think when Darren started training a lot with Chimaev, Tom went back to his dad's gym and they sort of built a training camp around him with heavyweights only because he was a bit big. And yeah, it's been working out for him. Tom's looking sharp.
Yeah, and the guys around him too. Like the Michael Parkin's been looking like way better
Yeah.
every fight. I mean, they're doing it right, like you're saying. I agree. And dude, he's Himothy. I mean, I'm a huge Aspinall supporter, bro. We've never seen a guy as athletic and as mobile and versatile as Tom Aspinall. And I just me, I love Curtis Blades, bro. I'll give him his flowers, but I don't see where he can win besides like a Hail
Yeah.
Mary overhand. Like,
Which, like you said, which is a hard place to go into because you don't want to be there. Like Tom is a lose lose for him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
um, I do hope that John Jones retires soon because he is just literally a black hole in that division, just sucking all the energy out of it. Trying to fight Steve A, who's not fought in 3 years. It's just fucking depressing. Do you know what I mean?
It's dude, I mean, it's Dana pushing the fight just as much as anybody, which is like, you can't at that point, it's like, what's anybody gonna do? It's like if Dana
But
says he wants it, that's what's gonna happen. So
Jones reminds me so much of Habib at this point now, where he's like they'll give him his props and different things. It's like, well, yeah, but like he's not 14 years now. Like he's retired. Like just leave the guys go. I was like, like when you retire, you should be retired. And like Jones never retired, but Jones should have never been allowed back after he got done for doping, like the first time, because like what he got caught taking wasn't something like, oh, I had tampered meat or like it was an accident. Anything like he actually took performance enhancing steroids. Should be a lifetime ban, and that's harsh because Jones used to be my favorite fighter. Like he was my fucking my favorite fighter for years. And then when he came out for doping, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done.
no, there's a lot of different angles that, I definitely see everybody's points. For me,
Yeah,
he's probably not my favorite fighter, but he's still my GOAT 100%. And when you look at it, like I'm still gonna be, there's still gonna be a party of people in my backyard watching John Jones Stipe.
always.
It's still gonna be one of the top selling pay-per-views of the year. And
Yeah,
he's probably still gonna whoop some ass, which is just crazy, bro, because everything he's been through at two light weight classes, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you can't really deny it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But we'll see because
I
Aspinall's gonna be
know,
right
I
there,
know,
dude.
but
He's gonna be right there, and that's gonna be a question. Everyone's gonna say, one more, one more, and it's either he's gonna fight the new age guy or he's just gonna sail into
he's
the
not
sunset.
gonna retire. He's gonna retire, which I'm hoping he does. I was hoping he would do, and they would just get it done, and then him and Steve A could retire, and the old dogs should just go out on their raft and sink in the sea. But it's
Jesus.
just do you know what I mean? At the minute, it's just like I talk so much shit online about stuff. It's like, how can you talk shit to someone and all they're asking in a like politeful way, saying, "Please, I just want to fight you." Like, there's no disrespect or anything. I'm not like I don't think Jones knew how to take Tom either because he didn't know whether he was like going to try and do that thing where he's trying to be nice and all of a sudden then he's going to be a dick or back. Like Tom's just been straight all the way through, being like, look, no disrespect. I literally don't want to argue with you. I don't want to. I'm not going to say like you're not the greatest of all time. I'm not going to say that you're not like the guy who wants to beat. I literally just want to fight you to prove that I deserve to be the number one in this division. And Jones like, you don't deserve to fight me. And he's like, okay, well, what do I need to do to fight me? He's like, you'll never fight me. You don't deserve to fight me. It's like, well, what do you need to do? I won an interim title. I beat the guy who was supposed to be the guy. Like his last fight was meant to be like that was meant to be the guy in that division, and literally Tom slapped him in the first round.
Right.
Curtis Blades is the only question mark on his career. So when he stamps it out, like what else is it to do for him?
Right. No, it's gonna
They're
be a
gonna bring
huge
Stipe
question.
out and fucking do you know what I mean? Like Stipe's on a Zimmer at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, Stipe's freaking saving fires. He's putting out fires right now. He's saving cats and children.
Stipe is on a Zimmer frame in a fire station, ready to retire for the last 5 years. Stipe needs to be retired.
He did just go full time like a couple of years ago, which was
Yeah,
definitely like a flag that's like, all right, full time, huh? But it is what it is. It is what it is.
yeah.
It'll be a great fight. It'll sell. Hopefully, it's their both their last fights. If it's not, I won't be mad
But
either.
they're both legends in the sport. Like I was only joking about Stipe and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's all
they're both
it's all fun and
legends.
games. It is what it is. Those guys, they're already stapled. There's nothing anybody could really say or do. I mean, one of them's gonna be the greatest heavyweight of all time, leaving that match, and then Aspinall will be left there to chase. So we'll see what happens. But so let's end with this. We got a minute, 15 seconds left. Where are we gonna see you next? You said you're going to this event in the UFC. That's probably where you want to go.
I don't know. I don't know. It makes you know how it goes. It's like I'm not closing any doors. I'm not shutting any windows. It's just I just want to be back fighting in the top. Do you know what I mean? I want to be. I keep looking at my Tapology ranking and it just keeps going up. Like one time I was 53 in the world and I'm up to like 95, 96. It's like I just,
You want to be the
I just
best. You want to
I
be the
want to be the
best.
best. I
That's
want to be
that's
the best. I want to be fighting the best and improving. Like Leon said after this, after he won the title against Usman the first time, he said that he improved by 60% just winning the title because he knew now I have to step up. That's what I want to do. I want to be that guy who's just getting better and better and better. And I'm 29. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to make my run. I really do. And like people are going to look at my last performance and be like, yeah, you're not good enough to win a title yet. I was like, yeah, but I will be. I will be because I'm going to keep getting better. So bring me harder opponents. I'll show you I'm better. I get better every time.
Let's fucking go. All right. Well, that's Mason Jones. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. Always a pleasure. Freaking hit me up 10 seconds after the fight. Like, let's get on this interview. You're the fucking man.